RIP to Pope Francis, but a lot of people have been saying that his death has been very suspicious, especially for the fact that it was on Easter Monday. So we're about to watch this video right here by The Truth Is. He always gives phenomenal breakdowns on situations like this. The title of the video is Pope Francis' Death is Deeper Than You Think. Alright, so without further ado, let's get straight into this. Smash like button, subscribe, and let's see what he has to say on the death of Pope Francis.
On April 21st, the world received the news that the most powerful religious figure in Catholicism had suddenly passed away. Pope Francis died in his residence at the respectable age of 88. This has left millions of followers devastated after hearing of his sudden death that just so happened to fall on Easter Monday at that. To me, I found it quite strange myself that the biggest Catholic religious leader in the world just so happened to pass away during one of the most important holidays in all of Christianity. This seemed quite suspicious to me, and it led me to dig deeper into Pope Francis, and what I found is quite strange to say the least. Not only was Pope Francis involved with one of the most powerful groups in the world, but his death falling on Easter Monday
was that him like a part of like the Masons and stuff? Is that the Masons?
Involved with one of the most powerful groups in the world, but his death falling on Easter Monday might be darker than most people think. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, one about the death of Pope Francis. Let's get right into it. Right now, it is being reported that Pope Francis passed away on March 21st on Easter Monday. He passed away in his home at the age of 88. The cause of his death is being reported to have been a stroke and heart failure. The Pope was last seen Sunday when he gave the traditional Easter blessing from the balcony of St. Peter's. His death came less than a month after he was hospitalized back in February for 5 weeks. He was dealing with a polymicrobial infection and double pneumonia, which he eventually recovered from. The Pope was released from the hospital last month on March 23rd and died just under a month later. While Pope Francis was already up there in age, and the elderly tend to face more severe health issues as they grow older, the fact that his death fell on Easter Monday just one day after Easter just seems so strange to me. I wanted to see if there was more to this, especially with the history of the Roman Catholic Church. I must admit I found a lot of interesting information that seems to suggest there could be more behind the death of Pope Francis. While most people see the Pope as a beloved religious figure, many people don't know about his connections to the Jesuit order, a powerful society that has not only been accused of being the one secretly controlling the Freemasons, but also being behind Adam Weishaupt, the founder of the original Illuminati group. It is even speculated that the Jesuit order is working towards establishing a new world order. According to the Vatican itself, Pope Francis was the first pope to have been a member of the Jesuit order. For those who don't know what the Jesuit order even is, let me give you a brief and simple explanation. They are a Catholic society that calls themselves the Order of Jesus and operates within the Vatican and the Catholic Church as a whole. While to the public, their mission is to spread the gospel and help people find God. The Jesuits have been linked to many suspicious activities. For instance, they are accused of infiltrating secret societies like the Freemasons. Adam Weishaupt, the man who created the Order of the Illuminati, actually attended a Jesuit-run school before going on to make the Illuminati group. It is believed the Jesuits once taught at the College of Clermont.
Nah, wait. Being the creator of the Illuminati is actually insane. What is this guy's name? Adam Weinstein or something like that? What is it? Adam Weishaupt? How do you even pronounce that joint?
To make the Illuminati group. It is believed the Jesuits once taught at the College of Clermont, a known location for Masons to hold their meetings, with it even being reported that some of the higher degree rituals were created by the Jesuit order. In fact, many high-ranking Jesuit members are also members of the Freemasons. Now isn't that a coincidence? Showing a clear link between the Jesuits and the Masons, with it even being claimed that the Jesuits are helping in establishing a new world order. I won't go too deep into the Jesuit order in this video, as this video is about the Pope, but if you want to see a full video uncovering the Jesuit order, let me know in the comment section, because this organization truly deserves its own video. Now, it was confirmed that Pope Francis was a member of the Jesuit order, and like I said, According to the Vatican itself, he was the first pope ever to be a part of the Jesuit order. Although it is well known that the Jesuit order has held a lot of power over the Vatican for a very long time now, Pope Francis was only the first member to be open about his association. I don't think Pope Francis' connection to this organization should be overlooked, as I am seeing a lot that would indicate this organization is involved in the world of the occult. To me, it seems like the Pope's death date was chosen to fall on Easter, and it wasn't random at all. I know Pope Francis could have passed away at any moment due to his age. Many people thought he was going to pass away when he was hospitalized back in February. But the fact that his death happened on Easter Monday, knowing his connection to pagan Rome, feels like there's way more to this. Now, considering the Vatican's strong involvement with pagan traditions, I found it quite strange that the Pope died on an important pagan holiday. Most people nowadays associate Easter solely with Christianity, having no knowledge of Easter's true origins. For those that didn't know, Easter is in fact a pagan holiday. The Easter holiday tradition dates back to the celebration of the spring equinox and the celebration of the Germanic goddess called Estor. Estor was considered the goddess of spring and fertility. Before Christianity was even a religion, Easter was used to celebrate Estor. Just like we determine what day Easter would fall on by using the first Sunday after the full moon following the spring equinox, those who worship Estor during April did the same thing. The celebration for Estor always required a sacrifice in her honor. They would make this sacrifice in hopes of receiving a good harvest. This tradition was followed similarly in the Roman Empire. The ancient Romans had their own spring equinox celebration in honor of their spring goddess Flora. In ancient Rome, Floralia was a prominent pagan festival celebrated in honor of the goddess. This festival, which began on April 27th, involved a series of games and was characterized by temples adorned with flowers and people wearing floral wreaths. It was a time to promote fertile earth and hope for a bountiful harvest. The ancient Romans would also make sacrifices on this holiday as an offering to Flora. These two holidays are what led to the modern version of Easter, clearly indicating
What
that
type of sacrifices are we talking about? Because I know in different empires, like the Mayan Empire, they would sacrifice people. You know what I'm saying? What are we sacrificing here?
Easter has nothing to do with Christ or Christianity. You may be thinking, how did Easter come to be associated with the resurrection of Christ? It all goes back to the Roman Catholic Church. Back in 325 AD, the first Council of Nicaea, which was a Catholic organization set up by Constantine himself, standardized the date of Easter as the first Sunday after the full moon, following the spring equinox, coincidentally aligning with the dates the pagan Roman Empire used to honor their pagan spring goddess Flora. It's not that hard to see that the Roman Empire just wanted to keep their pagan spring rituals going with the new Christian faith. They did this because those important figures in Catholicism, like Constantine, were still very much pagan, pretending to be Christian for its political benefit. This is why many of the holidays set up by the Roman Catholic Church in early AD are all pagan. As the church wasn't inventing new holidays for Christians, they were disguising their pagan holidays to be celebrated by Christians. Now think about it. The Pope passed away on Easter Monday, which to me is quite suspicious, as we have learned the ancient Romans were known to perform sacrifices on Easter for their pagan god Flora. The Pope just so happened to pass away during this Easter celebration that is really just a pagan celebration. We know that those who believe in these pagan gods take these sacrificial duties very seriously. They believe that if these sacrifices aren't met, they would be forced to deal with the crucial consequences from the gods. Also, the fact that Pope Francis was connected to the Jesuit order indicates that he was more than likely involved in pagan occult beliefs. Now, I think it's important to point out why I have many suspicions about the Vatican. I want to make it clear though, I am not attacking the Catholic religion or its members at all. Like I've said before, I grew up in a Catholic family.
Do we have any Catholics? I mean, I went to a Catholic school from 1st to 7th grade. I went to a Hebrew school, like a Jewish school, preschool, and pre-K and kindergarten. I think I did pre-K and then pre-K. And then I went to a Catholic school from 1st to 8th. And then after that is like where I kind of learned my own faith. But I would definitely say that helped with the foundation of even just knowing certain things about Jesus and stuff. But I'm more so on the end that, you know, Catholicism has a lot of man-made traditions. Like, I don't think a pope is even mentioned in the Bible. You feel what I'm saying? So there's a good amount of what would I say, positions and traditions that Jesus never even really talked about. I follow Jesus.
And identified as Catholic until my late teens. I personally know plenty of Catholics, some that are in my family and some that are my friends. All the Catholics I know believe basically the same thing I believe as a Christian. So what I am about to say isn't calling out the members of the church, but I am putting the focus on the Catholic leaders who know more than the average followers about the truth about Catholicism. Like I have said multiple times on this channel, the Roman Catholic Church is simply the continuation of the pagan Roman Empire. The reason the Roman Catholic Church was created was because the Romans knew the fall of paganism was coming after the death of Christ. After the crucifixion, they thought Jesus' movement was going to fall along with him. But the opposite happened after Yeshua resurrected and appeared to his loyal followers. This made his people only more empowered, which made the Romans realize a massive shift was set to come. Their old pagan religion was going to die, and if they were going to keep it alive, they were going to have to merge it with the rising Christian beliefs. During the beginning of the Catholic religion, it wasn't accepted by the Roman Empire. Christians were persecuted for their belief in Jesus Christ. This is because Rome was a pagan civilization that followed the old gods. They worshipped the planets as gods like the ancient Greece and the Egyptians before them. It wasn't until the Roman Emperor Constantine the Great became the first so-called Christian emperor that Christianity was legalized in Rome. At the point in time Constantine started to rule, it was pretty clear that Christianity was the religion of the future. Constantine knew Christianity was going to take over and Rome's pagan religion was going to be forgotten. So he decided to become a Christian. Well, he actually decided to become a Catholic. Constantine wasn't even a real Christian because he still actually believed in his pagan gods. He turned Christian after claiming that Jesus came to him in a vision and proclaimed to him that he was God. Constantine claimed to have received this vision from Jesus during the Battle of the Milvian Bridge in 1312 AD. He claimed the vision showed them a holy sign that would protect him from his enemies and allow him to reunify the Roman Empire. So Constantine then ordered all his soldiers to mark their shields with Christ's initials. Constantine then returned from the battle, telling the Roman people that it was the Christian God who helped them win the battle, also telling the people that he was now a Christian, and this played a key role in the Christianization of the Roman Empire. The only thing is, Constantine only claimed to have had this vision of Christ and his conversion to Christianity strictly for political reasons. Rome was changing at the time, and the rise of Christianity was not only changing Rome but dividing it. The pagans and the Christians weren't getting along, and it was creating tons of conflict. So Constantine knew that if he wanted to preserve his pagan ideologies and fully rule over Rome, he was going to have to combine Rome's pagan traditions with the new Christianity traditions. This is why Constantine declared Christianity to be the sole religion of the Roman Empire. Constantine wasn't a Christian, he was a pagan. In fact, his own father was a devout follower of the pagan sun god Sol Invictus. Sol Invictus' birthday was believed to be on December 25th. This is the day the Romans historically celebrated his birthday. What's interesting about this is that in 336 AD, the Roman Emperor Constantine made December 25th the official date for Christians to celebrate the birth of Christ. The same day, he and all of Rome were known to celebrate Sol Invictus. This wasn't done by coincidence. Constantine kept his pagan religion alive by merging it with Christianity. This way, when people celebrated so-called Christian holidays, they were still honoring the pagan gods the ancient Romans worshipped, making sure their beliefs were never forgotten. The Roman Catholic Church is just a continuation of pagan Rome but modified. The Romans' multi-god religious system became the Catholic saints. The Romans worshipped a sun god on December 25th, while the Catholics worshipped the Son of God on December 25th. The truth is always hidden in plain sight. This is why the Vatican is full of secrets, because it hides the church's connections to pagan Rome. This became even more clear with the Templars, who eventually became many of the modern secret societies like the Freemasons. The Templars were a Roman Catholic army that claimed to be the defenders of Christ and his followers. In reality, they were occultists channeling Baphomet and performing disturbing pagan rituals. The Vatican is keeping the Roman Empire alive, still practicing their pagan religion in secrecy. Most people don't realize that everything about the Vatican is connected to the pagan old ways. Even the name Vatican has pagan roots. Where do you think the word Vatican even comes from? It's not in the Bible, and it isn't connected to Christianity in any way. In fact, The word Vatican comes from a pagan god called Vatica, who was an Etruscan god worshipped as the god of childbirth in the underworld. This god was closely associated with the serpent, which is the furthest thing from holy. The literal name of the Catholic headquarters isn't Christian at all, but heavily rooted in paganism. That alone speaks volumes. I want to know what you guys think below. Was this just a strange coincidence, or is there more to all of this? Well, that's it for this video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys.
Not gonna lie, the truth is really does bring like a lot of great information linking, to the Catholicism, the Pope, the Vatican, because there's a lot of like top secret information within the Vatican that they don't want to release to the public. When if you're following Jesus, I guess the main thing that you would want to do, is spread the word of God, and what you do in the light should be shown and not hold anything in the dark. So if they're holding some things in the dark that they don't want people to know, it could be concerning. You know what I'm saying? Especially with them being the most powerful leaders for, Christianity. But comment down below what you guys think about this entire situation. Do you think it was a coincidence? Do you think it was just he passed away that day? What do y'all think? Comment down below. Smash the like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace.